Hey, welcome back to this other side after a rabbit hole that we just went through. Let's continue. And now we're going to go for the next challenge, which is nesting many elements within a single div element. Something that I believe you should have learned a while back, but it's okay. So a few more classes. Right. So we have this code that they have provided us with. It looks something like that on the side. The default, as you can see, is indoor and loving is a default checked or selected value. I shouldn't use the word value, but anyway. So now we're going to look at how to nest multiple items and multiple elements inside a single div element. So a div element is also known as a division element. It's a general purpose container for elements. A div element is probably the most commonly used HTML element of all. Um, just like other non-self-closing elements, you can open a div with the open div and then close it with a close div. So it is a non-self-closing element. Self-closing elements are like the HR, the horizontal ruler, the image, and the input, right? So nest your things cats love and things cats hate list all within a single div element, which is pretty straightforward if you ask me. So let's see, things that cats love. I'm just going to move this and I'm going to say things that cats hate. And notice that once I have this, I have to indent it so that it looks nice. This is how it should be done. This is the proper way. It doesn't teach you that here, but I'm teaching you that you should do this. Make sure that it is aligned properly and indented, which means there's proper spacing. And here there are lines. Actually, if you can see on my screen, there are lines that helps you to read the different lines. And there's numbers on the side, which also helps you. All very important. So make sure the opening div is here and the closing div is at the end. And in between is the two paragraph. There's paragraph 1, paragraph 2, and then the ordered list and the unordered list, right? And then obviously inside are the list items. All right. Okay. So hint. Try putting your opening divs above your things cats love P element, the paragraph element, and your closing div tag after your closing OL ordered list tag, so that both of your lists are within one div. Okay, we did that. So nest your P element, your paragraph element inside your div element, which you did. We have, and this is elements for S, right? So we have two paragraph elements, and we put it all inside the div. Nest your UL element, which is your unordered list element, inside your div element, which we did already, as denoted here. Nest your OL, your ordered list element, inside your div element, which we also did, and make sure your div element has a closing tag, which we did, open, close, right? Cool. So I want to just go to MDM and take a look at what divs are. Div is the content division element. Notice here as a div is a warning. That's why it's red. You can also change this to not red. See, it's completely red. There's no whatever. So this is yellow. and then obviously we can change it to black. See? Okay, so that's CSS. We'll get to CSS very soon. But this is what I want to show you was the div. This is the div. Around this is the black. Right now is a div. Let's reset this to red. This is the div. And then inside is the image, which we already know how to do, the source attribute and the auth attribute. So the auth attribute is the intimidating leopard, right? So if, for example, like the source is broken, like I'll just say JPEG 1, it will be broken and you will see the text appear. The auth text is an intimidating leopard, right? So let's remove this and you don't see the text anymore, but it's still there and machines can read that. Your browser can read that, but you usually do not see that. I'm just going to show you. I'm just going to show you this as a preview of things to come. You can see that the alt text, if you move your mouse over, you can see that, okay, this is the full link to the source image. It is 202 times, or 202 by 79 pixels. Interestingly, it is 1244 by 416 pixels, which is the full size of the image. And here you see auth. The auth text is an intimidating leopard, right? Okay, let's close this. And then obviously a paragraph, beware of the leopard. Okay, so that basically concludes this section. Let's run the tests and let's move on to the next challenge. So way cool. So the next challenge is going to be declaring the doc type of an HTML document, and then once we do that, we can define the head and body of an element of a HTML document, and then we're done. So we have done a lot of lessons and challenges in this section. So let's jump into the next challenge.